Hey friends, Carla here from Documenting the Journey, and this is going to be a video about kind of like a system update. I have been in the Hobonichi Cousin for the entire year so far. This is the A5. It has the monthly, the weekly, and the daily pages. I started in this planner actually last year as well. And I quickly remembered as soon as January was finished why I ended up leaving it last year. I really need to bookmark this video on my own channel because I need to refer to it every single December. So I love the concept of the Cousin. It is a complete system all in one, and that's really what I've been going for a really long time, is trying to get everything in one book. I actually added quite a few things to this book. I tipped in some trackers that I printed out. I also created a bunch of different trackers in the back pages as well. And so I essentially moved out of my ring system and moved into the Cousin, and this was my full-time planner for all of January. And then I remembered this. So I forgot about the color changes on the daily pages. So I completely spaced the fact that every single month is a completely different color. And not only is the tab a different color, the grid and the lines and all of the Japanese writing on the bottom is also a completely different color. The weekly is actually not too terrible as far as color goes. You know, you do have some red dates here. I've never really cared for the calendar up in the corner up here, and I actually really liked the way I used my weekly spreads in this planner, but the color in the daily pages were driving me insane, and I hadn't even gotten through 2 months of it. So I decided to put this sucker aside and create my own planner. So I started a bullet journal. I actually grabbed a Stencils A5, and this is the 365 full year. So this is not the half year, this is the full year book. So I actually decided to create my own planner, and I got well, I've actually had it for a really long time, an A5 sized 365 Stencils. This is something that has just been sitting on my shelf for ages. And I decided to kind of create my own planner. So I went down the bullet journal route. So I have in the front, I have all 12 months with my to-do lists of things I want to do. I drew out all 12 months of my calendar. I also have all of my weekly spreads. So I essentially have an hourly spread each week. And I have plenty of space down at the bottom for all of the other little notes and things that I need. And then I also have in here daily logs. So I basically have Monday through Wednesday here, Thursday through the whole weekend here. And overall, I've been keeping up with it pretty well. And then I also put in a section for trackers. And so I essentially drew the same trackers that were in my Cousin, and I even have a section for finances. And I, for some reason, don't know what I'm doing this year. So, okay, I love this. It is exactly what I need in a planner. Again, it is all in one book. It has my monthly, my weeklies, my dailies, my trackers. It has all of my finances. I mean, it's essentially everything that I need. And then I decided to jump into my B6, y'all. What? Okay, so I had a lot of fun setting this up, but it was so much work, like so much work. So I've been really happy with my layouts. What I have found over time is I need a book bound, I need an hourly, I need a space for daily logs, and I need trackers. That's essentially what I have. I was really hoping that I was gonna have that in the Jabun Techo, which I did a video on as well. I was really hoping that that was gonna be my kind of archivable planner for the year, but I truly didn't like the paper. And so I've been using this, and I've realized I'm essentially drawing the exact same layout every single week, which is great because I know exactly what works for me. I have also had the B6 Wonderland Planners sitting on my shelf since October. And these have Tomoe River paper. The website says that it's white, but it's just slightly off-white in my opinion. It's not a bright white. It's more of like a super duper light cream, but it is the Tomoe River paper. It has everything essentially that is in my bullet journal already in here. So I've got my year at a glance. I've got my months spaced out for future planning, and I can put all of my monthly to-do list goals here as well. So I've got all 4 quarters of that. And then I have all of my routine trackers. So this one actually started in November, and I was so scared to jump into it in November, I just left it on my shelf. And so I have all of my trackers already built in. They're already written out. They're already dated. I've got those for the entire year. All of my monthly calendars are dated. My weekly is all dated. It's all hourly timed out as well. That would be my dog. We're living life, so I'm not going to edit that out. So one thing that I had really considered when I decided to bust out and try the B6 is my hourly that I've been doing is 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. The hourly in the B6 Wonderland222 is also 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. So it's not that one extra hour, but y'all, this is like so much work. Like, it is a lot of work to draw out the entire thing, write all of the hours in. I could absolutely use washi for the hours. I could do a bunch of other things, but I'm really, honestly, I'm trying to get away from stickers. I just recently purchased 2 really large orders when Lauren Phelps Designs and Sterling Ink were having a sale. And I purchased those knowing that I was probably not going to purchase any other stickers for a very long time, because I have a lot of stickers. I'm trying not to use stickers because I don't want to have to feel the need to keep buying stickers. And so I have all of this as just pen only. And then I was planning on just like going back and maybe adding like a little floral doodle here and there. But my Hobonichi Cousin was also sticker free. So I've been really thinking about my system, and I've got my daily logs, I've got my hourly, I've got everything in here, but it's also in here, and it's pre-dated, it's pre-laid out, and I don't have to draw anything, and I don't have to write my hours every single week. So I was telling a friend that the one big thing that was really preventing me from jumping in full force with this is the stacked weekends. I haven't used stack weekends before. And there's also no list space for a weekly to-do list. So like here in my bullet journal, I've created a whole ton of space around my entire hourly schedule. I've got my weekly to-dos, I've got my habit tracking, I've got my recap of the week, I've got my kids' school schedule, and I've got my menu. I have all of it on one page. This is an A5. The B6, granted it's a B6, it's smaller, but it just doesn't have that extra space. And so I was gonna try to utilize this space down here. And so I did a mock-up spread here. And so this is essentially what it looks like. So my mock-up is not really a mock-up. I actually used it this way because it's the exact same spread in my bullet journal. But I've got all of my hourly stuff here. I've got my weekend activities, and then I've got my menu, my kids' school schedule, and then I kind of just turned the planner this way for my weekly to-do list. So I'm going to try this because, I mean, I love my bullet journal. I love the clean look of it. I absolutely love that I can have a really good creative outlet, but sometimes I just don't have the time to completely draw out all of my layouts. So as far as system update goes, I am out of the Cousin as a functional planner, and I am torn between my A5 Stalogy bullet journal and the B6 Wonderland222. So another thing to consider for me is that the dailies, hang on, I have a half year B6 Wonderland notebook that I've actually had for quite a while. So I actually tried to fit in all of my dailies on here as well. And so this is the exact same layout that I have in my bullet journal. I've got Monday through Wednesday here, Friday through the weekend here, and I actually really like the way it looks. So I'm just torn because I can get all of my bullet journal into these two notebooks of my Wonderland. But again, it's two notebooks. So this is what I'm considering because my brain needs simplicity. I am highly, highly, highly considering actually just gluing these two covers together. Like, I know that seems absolutely ridiculous because they're still in the same cover. I also have, this is the daily, this is the 365, this is the full year version, because I didn't know if I was going to want a day per page or not. And then this is the half year version. So your full year, your half year. So you can see the thickness differences in that. And then also this is the planner. So this is November 2021 through December 2022. And you see this little gray stuff down here. These are all daily pages. It's like, I don't know, 72, I think, because I was hoping that I was actually going to be able to utilize this as my full year in this layout with 1 week on 2 pages, but it's just shy of a year. So I think it was like 72 pages. And so I think that was going to get me like 36 weeks and not 52 weeks, because I would have loved to just have everything in one book, but I couldn't do that. So y'all, I think I'm just going to glue these together because it's already dated. It's already drawn out. It's essentially the exact same thing that I'm doing in my bullet journal minus 1 hour. My concern with jumping into this full time is that I'm going to miss all of the creativity that my bullet journal gives me. But I think that for simplicity's sake, I think I need something that is dated. I love the flexibility of my bullet journal, and I love being able to play, and I love being able to switch up my layouts. But the problem is I know that this layout is what I need, and I know that this layout is exactly what works for me. And so I've been using the same layout essentially the entire time. There, at the very, very beginning year, I was using this type of layout, just like an itemized list, because my kids were off of school and I had the whole time off as well, and we didn't need the hourly. But now that I am back to work, that's my dog again. Now that I am back to work, I just need the hourly, and I just know that this works for me. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep my bullet journal kind of like on my desk because it's beautiful. I love it. But I think that I'm going to be transferring all of the information to my Wonderland222 B6. It's easier to carry around. This is 3 books. I wouldn't carry 3 books. It is in a leather cover already. This is the Aura Estelle Airy B6 cover, and I can just have everything in one space as well. So, and also it's completely neutral. Like, the biggest reason that I wanted to get out of the Cousin is because I didn't want the color, and I love that this is a true neutral planner. Grays, and that's it. Like, it's just grays and whites, and that's really all that I need. And so I think that I am going to jump into this full time, and I'm just going to see how it works for February and March. And then I'm just going to keep my bullet journal, maybe just for creativity outlet type of thing. So that is my system update. I'm going to go ahead and close this, even though I'm not going to be carrying it with 3 books because, y'all, that's just like a lot. And then I am going to set this aside for now, although it kind of makes me a little bit sad. But I think that for time's sake, I just have realized that I have spent a lot of time in the evening after the kids go to bed, and I've been playing with my planning system essentially the entire year, and I just don't need to. I need to start focusing my time on other things that will fill my cup, in addition to other things that I know that my family needs as well. And so I'm going to go back to something that is dated. It's B6, it's smaller, it's still completely neutral, and I have everything in here that I need that I've created in my bullet journal. So with that being said, I really hope it works. I hope I stick with it. I still have a lot of my other stuff that I've had from the very beginning of the year. I'm still using my MakseLife in order to do all of my goal setting and my accomplishments, my failures, my reflections. Like, this is my heart and soul planner. I've attempted to share it a couple of times on social media, but honestly, I'm just not super comfortable with it because it's just a lot of deep soul work, and I really just need to protect my process right now, and I'm not going to be sharing this, but I'm still in it on the regular, and it's a beast. It never goes anywhere with me anyway. And so I'm still in this for all of my heart and soul work as well. But my functional planning is changing from the Cousin to the Bujo, from the Bujo to the Wonderland. Because again, simplicity. And also because I can, and I like it. Playing in planners for me is fun. It is a hobby. It is something that I absolutely enjoy. Yes, I have spent a small chunk of change on my planners, but I don't really ever throw anything away. I can absolutely repurpose everything. This I can make into a creative journal. Right now I'm actually using a Stalogy B6 for a creative journal. And so I can also use one of these as a memory keeper as well, but we will definitely repurpose and figure out how to get all of these books used throughout the year. And so that is my system update. I will now be in the Wonderland222 B6 full-time for at least February and March. And then hopefully I can stick with it for the entire year. So we'll see. This is actually next week. I've already laid out a lot of next week. I've got work on a few days. My kids have off of school, so I take off of work every time they're off of school. And this took me like 5 minutes, whereas drawing an entire layout in this book, like drawing this layout right here, or even like any of my hourly layouts, this takes me about 30 to 45 minutes to just draw 1 week's layout. And I really need to be able to focus my time better and just spend my time doing other things that I need to be doing right now. So 5 minutes, 45 minutes. Yep, I'm gonna stick with this one. So this is just my bare bones of next week. I don't have my menu. I'm not even putting my kids' school special stuff in there because they're out essentially the entire week. And so I'll have a lot more space too for a weekly to-do list. A lot of our weekly to-do list ends up getting done on the weekends anyway, so I can easily use these spaces as my weekly to-do list as well. So I'm going to do my hardest to actually make this work full-time for me. I am also going to try my hardest to keep it sticker free and to just do pen and highlighter only, because again, I'm trying to focus my finances where I need it most as well. And so I just don't want to invest a lot in stickers and stuff like that right now. The last 2 purchases I made at the beginning of the year are hopefully going to be my last 2 purchases for quite a while. They were very large purchases as well. I'd never ordered from those companies before, so I just kind of got like a little bit of everything. I'll be posting all of those things on my Instagram as well. So if you wanted to see my haul videos on those, then head over to my Instagram at Documenting the Journey. But anyways, I think that this video has been long enough. I've kept you long enough. I just wanted to give everybody a system update and let you guys know that yes, I did planner hop. Yes, it is only February, and I understand it annoys some people, but it's just what we're dealing with, what we're going through. But I hope that you guys have found a little bit of comfort in knowing that if you are a planner hopper, you are definitely not the only one out there. Sometimes it does take a long time to find what works, in addition to just making yourself happy. And if making yourself happy is trying multiple different things, then you should absolutely do that if you can financially afford to do so. I think that you should just do whatever works for you, and I don't think that you should jump into something just because somebody else is using it or doing it or worrying about any social media stuff like that either. Just a couple of little nuggets that I've learned over the past couple of years. But anyways, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that you guys also enjoy the rest of your day, If you liked the video, feel free to subscribe. I'm going to also try to do some additional plan with me's. I've not done them yet in the B6, mainly just because I just started. So I will go ahead and transfer all of my information from my bullet journal, tracking, monthly appointments, stuff like that, to my B6. And then I will be doing future videos on my B6 here as well. So again, thank you very much for hanging out with me, and I hope you enjoy.